I've got some Kuretake ink. I've done a little pencil sketch of a skeleton spaceman. And I have a nib holder and a new fresh nib, and I've actually sort of gotten it ready. However, this always scares me because I could easily screw it up. But so far, so good. One thing I'm trying to consciously avoid is to try and, I heard this described as try to calligraphy out your lines, to try and draw everything as one continuous, smoothly flowing line. You're really better off just doing small lines, and if it's not thick enough, you just double it up. And then for areas that are supposed to be blacked out, you're better off not kind of trying to color it in. You know, pick up a brush for that part maybe. This guy kind of reminds me of, I think it's called the Space Freak, Astro Freak from Scooby-Doo. But it's basically a skeleton inside of an astronaut costume, sort of. And this is one area where I am interested in maybe coloring in part of it. So let's see if I can find a brush. Oh, you know what I can do? I've got one of these Faber-Castell pit pens. I'll do it afterwards so I don't get the felt tip wet. We could just continue inking here. It's kind of a baggy spacesuit. Okay. Go a little thicker there because I know that line will be in shadow underneath. So we want that one to be a little bit heavier. And there's the heavy line right there. Actually, this should be the heavy line. This is a Bigfoot cartoon figure. And I got my fabled black Stabilo. This is what I used to do ink washes with. However, I'm considering maybe not using it for the ink washes on this guy. I've done that for several seasons of Inktober. But varying results. For one thing, it's not light fast, I don't think. And things that I had where I thought it was completely blackout dark, I'll go back and look a little later, and it'll be, you know, kind of a very pale shade of gray. Okay, now at this stage we've inked all of our major lines, and now what's left is sort of do the texture. But it's dangerous because it's wet, so if I put my hand on it, I could cause a major issue. So we're hoping not to do that. All right, this is looking pretty good. I've got some water here. I even have a brush. So maybe I could actually just ink it in with a brush. It's not going to require much, that's for sure. All right, in the interest of consistency and science and discovery, we'll go ahead and brush it in. I need to set up one of my water pens. One interesting thing that you can do is you take a water pen, you know, like you might do with watercolors or whatever, and you fill it about, I don't know, 4/5 with water, but you drop some ink in there as well, and you can do your ink washes that way. It's not the same as having a brush pen, because brush pens are made to draw in black, right? But this is like a brush pen that does washes, so you can do build-ups and, you know, interesting things with it. All right. Now I might need a paper towel, which I know I have in this room. I just have to remember what I did with it. Okay, so what I decided to do, I found my paper towels and I found this watercolor thing. I've got some black ink in here and I mixed it with water. And I'm hoping to get a nice washy tone. I'm a little afraid I can still see there's some wet ink on there though. So I might start up here. Nope, I'm afraid to do it. What I probably really need to do is sort of do the washy tone on the suit, you know? Let's have the So we've imagined the light is coming from this side, left side, top left. Yeah, there's where the wet ink was, right over there. That's okay. It hasn't messed it up too much at all. We could also show a little drop shadow. Kind of coming off this way. And then finally, we could even go for a second tone. Let's say I want to make it darker right here. If you layer that in, it should be darker than the other tone. If we want to really get fancy, we could even put some tape down, do a little background. But this is Inktober. We're going to do this every day for 31 days. So let's just do it for fun right now. Maybe we could do like a little nimbus. And we'll see if we can tidy up these edges. Okay. We're going to do a second darker shade around the very edge of the background. But I think we're done pretty much. We can do some more details if we wanted to. If we cared. I think maybe this month I'm just going to do all toys or toy references. I mean, this isn't exactly a toy, but it is based on a toy that I saw on Pinterest. Action figures, if you will. It's not a toy, it's not a doll, it's an action figure. Mom, okay. Okay. Pretty good. Let's give it a little sign. Day one.